Good day. So my name is Jonathan David D. De La Cruz, and I will be your lecturer for Field Study 1. Right now, we will jump into the sixth episode. The sixth episode is the classroom management and routine. Why is it important to establish classroom routines? Number one is that establishing a routine establishing a routine earlier of the year is very important because you allow the learners to be conditioned with the routine that you do. Take note sa routine na ginagawa natin as classroom teachers, iba-iba talaga ang strategies. But then again, there's first things foremost na hindi nyo pwedeng alisin is that greetings should be there. Um, And then, dapat nandyan din yung prayer should be there in the basic education. May prayer sila. And then, that's a routine, established routine. And then, pick up the pieces of papers around you if you have any dirt. So, that's usually na ginagawa. Okay, so, and of course, some schools also have national anthem with them. Kasabay yun ng after ng prayer. No? So those are routines that should be established at the earlier parts of the school year, and then enables it allows you to run the activities daily in smooth manner kasi pag-establish na yung um, yung routine ninyo, daily routine ninyo as student teacher, students and the teacher, pag-establish na yon, it would be smoother for you kasi when you enter, when you greet, they would immediately stand up kasi they are already conditioned with the response that is expected from them. When you say good morning, they would also say good morning. And then you alam na kung ano ang sunod na gagawin, that magkakaroon na ng prayer, and then magkakaroon na ng national anthem, and then cleaning their sides, titingnan kung malinis ba yung kanilang learning area, and then taking their seats. Kasabay nun, nagkakaroon ka ng motivational activities or recaps ng mga previous discussions, and then so on and so forth. Kaya this allows you actually to have a smoother discussion kasi hindi ka na papabago-bago. That's why dapat established na as teachers kung ano na yung rules, kung ano na yung routines ninyo when you start the academic year. Kasi in the fifth episode, we talked about the rules. Dapat established na din yon. Sa classroom management, kailangan established na din yung routines ninyo. Why is it again important to establish routine? It helps you maintain order in the classroom, makes you focus in teaching because you spend less time in giving direction and instructions. Kasi 'di ba, isahan na lang yung bigay mo in the first parts of the school year, nakapagbigay ka na ng routine na dapat nilang sundin. First few weeks, medyo sinusunod-sunod pa nila pero dapat after a month or let's say 2 weeks, dapat established na yung routine at dapat alam na nila yung gagawin. And then enables you to explain to the learners what are expected of them. Okay. So dito sa routines kasi natin, pwede kang mag ano din bukod sa start routines na ginagawa mo as teacher, yung greetings mo, pwede ka din maglagay ng mga pakulo na mga pwede mong gawin for you to catch them. Say for example, kapag nag-iingay na ang klase, paano mo tatawagin yan? Paano mo sila kokontrolin? Remember that you are not only handling 20 students, 30 students. Sometimes some schools handles 60, 80, even 100 of students. 100 of students ang ina-handle ng teacher. So you cannot actually scold them one by one, okay? And we do not want, again, ayaw natin as teachers as much as possible na nag scold sa loob ng classroom. But minsan, na hindi natin napipigilan ang ating mga sarili. But then again, there are different techniques on how you can do that. Say, for example, if I say class, you say yes. This is a technique I got from my professor in college. His name is Professor Von Torio. Um, if you say class, I say class, you say yes. Class, yes. Class, yes, yes. Class, yes, yes, yes. That's a strategy wherein you can gather the attention of the students. Okay, you can gather their attention. Let's say I got this um another technique naman from my teacher. In college, again, her name is Professor Manyabat. Pag sinabi niya, 1, 2, eyes on you. 3, 4, talk no more. So, these are elementary things na pwede nyo magamit sa elementary or pwede nyo din magamit sa high school. Even pwede nyo din magamit sa college to control students na nag-iingay. No? And there are a lot of techniques that you can gather at para makontrol yung mga bata in case na nag-iingay sila in order to get their attention. And speaking of routine pala and attention, remember teachers, when you enter the classroom, you are the person of authority. You need to be in command. Dapat yung aura mo, yung stance mo as teacher, you should be the one who is in command of the class. Para hindi mo na kailangan gamitin yung mga ibang technique sa pag-gather ng attention. Kasi pagpasok mo pala ng classroom, nasa iyo na ang attention ng bata. Ang problema mo na lang, how are you going to maintain the attention of the students to you? Okay, so these are the events of instructions. Again, yung mga nasabi ko kaninang routines, hindi yun pare-parehas sa lahat ng school. Different schools have actually different routines, established routines. Pagpunta nyo sa ibang bansa, iba din ang kanilang established routines. Pero one thing's for sure, ang talagang common dyan or universal is that itong mga babanggitin ko po from sa events of instructions. Okay? Number one is, of course, gain attention. When you say gain attention, that's the time when teachers say, good morning, class. Greetings. Okay? So, dyan papasok na si teacher. Let's say, yung iba dyan, papasok pa lang. O kaya naman, yung takong ni teacher, yung tunog pa lang, nandun na yung attention ng mga bata, nagpapasukan na si ma'am. They already know the attention. The teacher already got the attention of the students. Kasi yun yung unang-unang kailangang ma-establish. Okay? But although, kahit nasa iyo ang attention ng mga bata, take note that you are not the center of learning. The center of learning and teaching are your students and not you as a teacher. Number two is that you should inform learners of the objective of the day. Dapat informed ang bata sa tatalakayin natin ngayon. Say, for example, good morning class, and then nagkaroon ka na ng routine, yung usual routines na na-establish mo. Doon na papasok yung inform them about the learner's objective. Today, we're going to talk about like that. O kaya naman ngayon, tatalakayin natin ang paksa patungkol sa buhay ni. Ganun yung discussions, no? And then, ngunit bago yon, ano ang nangyari sa nakaraang leksyon? Recall prior knowledge. Or pwede namang recall prior knowledge or before the objective. Kasi dapat, bakit tayo nagkakaroon ng recall prior knowledge? Una, isa sa mga dahilan kung bakit kailangan nakakapag-recall ang bata, nire-recall natin yung learning ng bata, is that to make sure kung natuto ba sila last time, and of course, to establish continuity of learning, na hindi ka lang lumitaw dyan at nagturo ng panibagong lesson nang wala namang connection doon sa previous lesson, unless, end na talaga yun ang major topic ninyo, yung last session, and then you can already start. Okay? Next is present materials. Of course, as teachers, it is encouraged for us to have a visual materials or learning aids, whether it be handouts or even your whiteboard markers, PowerPoint presentations, and so on and so forth. And then provide guided learning. When I say provide guided learning, that's the time when you ask questions. Again, we in the 21st century education, we do not only give knowledge to the students, but we ask questions to them. When they enter inside the classroom, it is expected that somehow they have a little bit of knowledge. But then again, teachers do not assume that the students already know the answer. What we want is that the students to learn from us. Okay? So, magtatanong ka in grad school, law school, med school, ginagamit na yung techniques na to even before pa man, called the Socratic method, wherein the teachers will ask and the students will think of the answer. But then again, ngayon, even sa basic education and elementary and high school, and even college, ginagamit na din po ang inquiry-based learning and teaching. Guided learning ito. But then again, our intention sa pagtatanong ay hindi upang ipahiya ang ating mga estudyante, bagkus upang magabayan sila sa kanilang pag-iisip ng tanong. Kasi pag sila ang nag-isip ng sagot doon sa tanong na yon, mas maaalala nila kaysa sa pag sinabi mo. Kasi mas madaming mas meaningful yun para sa kanila because they are the one who figured out the answer. Next is illicit performance. Allow them to have activities to explore, giving them activities that are hands-on. Like say, if you're, but this is mostly dependent on the subject also. Say for example, if you are in the languages, you allow them to read. If you are in the mathematics, you allow them to compute and calculate para mas maintindihan. The muscle memory din kasi kapag nagsusulat. And then ganun din kapag nasa TLE or nasa technology program wherein kailangan handy talaga sila para alam nila kung ano talaga yung nangyayari doon sa ginagawa nila. So allow them to experience the performance. And then lastly, provide feedback. Ask from them, but also give a feedback to them. Hindi pa rin nawawala dyan yung role natin as teachers to give knowledge. Yes, we facilitate knowledge in the 21st century learning, but we also are expected to give knowledge if the students fails to understand or to gain the knowledge that is expected from them. Kailangan nandun tayo. Why? Because as teachers, we facilitate knowledge. There's a lot of knowledge in the 21st century education, but our role as teachers is to manage this knowledge, knowledge management, and then present that knowledge to the students wherein they can easily understand. Kasi kapag sabay-sabay ang knowledge na yan pumasok sa isip ng bata, kawawa naman sila. We are managers, we are organizers as teachers. We organize the thought and then present it to them. And then of course, assess performance. When we assess performance, we do not only assess using a pen and paper test. We also use activities. We also use an outcomes-based activities because that's what we want. And then lastly, enhance retention and transfer. Kailangan ma-enhance yung retention. Hindi yung naaral ngayon tapos pagkatapos ng exam, nag-evaporate na lahat ng inaral ng bata. Ayaw natin ng ganun. We do not want that. As much as possible, we want to enhance the retention and be able to transfer this learning. And they must find the meaningful of their learning and find the relationship in other fields para makita nila yung relasyon ng subject mo sa ibang subject. Okay? So, this is a classroom management routine events in the instruction, but this may vary depending on the topic, depending on the subject, depending on what is expected of from the students, no? But these are just the general, no? And again, kailangan establish ang classroom management at the first school year pa lang para pagdating sa mga susunod na years, smooth na yon para sa'yo as a teacher at para din sa mga estudyante mo para hindi na din sila malito, ha? Nagbago na naman ng rules si sir, ha? Nagbago na naman ng rules si ma'am. Ayaw natin ng ganon. We want to establish a rule for the students. Again, the rule is not just for us teachers. The rule is for the students. The procedure is also for the students. Hindi lang yun para sa atin. Because that is the role of classroom management. Again, you are managing people inside the classroom. Okay? So some of the students there will become professionals in certain fields. Of course, it is expected. We want our students to grow and flourish in their fields. Kaya dapat, as teachers, establish mo na yung rules mo sa kanila. Kasi yung iba dyan, yung ibang estudyante dyan, maaalala yung rules mo kahit tapos na kayo sa katapos na sa year level ninyo. And they will carry that rule even when they're already working. Like example, simple greeting. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. That's a simple practice inside the classroom that can be brought inside the work, which allows the learner to have certain feeling of involvement in being part of the work community. So yun lang, it's a manner. It's a manner that is established inside, should be established inside the classroom and will be brought inside sa work. Okay? So remember, as teachers, we do not only teach intellect cognitively, we want holistic learners in the 21st century. So that would be all for the 6th episode of the Field Study 1. Thank you and God bless you.